Hey guys, it's Tina here, and today let's talk about duplication. This is so important. This is a big lesson that I learned this past year. So, duplication. If you feel like you're the one that always has to do everything in your team, right? If you're wondering, like, where are all the good people? If you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm doing so much work, all these people, they rely on me so much, why am I having to Google simple questions for them? Why do I have to do everything? Why can't they problem solve on their own? Why can't they think for themselves? Why do I have to do all the work, right? Where are all the good people? Where are the leaders, the go-getters who are going to build this business at least with me, not at least with me, alongside me, right? So if you've been feeling that way, this is something that I was dealing with at the end of last year, feeling like, my gosh, how much more do I need to do? Like everything, every part of the business was directly tied to me. And the moment that I stopped, everything stopped. And so what I learned was that I hired a business coach, and what she taught me is that there are two types of people. There are what's called strategists, and there are what's called tacticians. And what that means is that tacticians, what they want is like the step-by-step, right? If you can provide them with like the step-by-step thing to do, like a checklist of what to do, they will happily go out there and go do that thing. But the moment that they encounter something that's not on that step-by-step, they won't know how to problem solve, right? I did step 6 and 7 and I got stuck at step 8. Therefore, I have to wait for Tina until she tells me what to do before I do step 9, right? So that's what a tactician is able to do. They like the step-by-step. They like to check off those boxes. They like to be told exactly what to do, and they'll go do it. Now, there's also what's called strategists. Strategists are more so problem solvers, right? If they run into step 8 and something goes wrong, they'll be resourceful and they will Google how to do something. They'll try to they'll be more proactive in coming up with a way to bypass step 8. The problem with strategists, though, is they typically don't like to do step-by-step. They kind of like to do it their own way and like do their own thing and figure it out, right? Because they're problem solvers. So now I'm more of a strategist, right? I like big picture. I like to know like what's going on. I like to problem solve. I like to have a situation and I like to tackle the problem and solve it. So for that reason, I'm really bad with creating like step by step, because to me, I like to just know the big idea and then I can go execute. Now, the problem is if you have people who are tacticians on your team, which is like 90% of the world, okay, 90% of people are tacticians. They're going to need the step by step. And for a strategist like me, I get really frustrated because I'm very much so like, well, like, let's think about this. Like, what do you think is the next step? Or, just like, let me Google it here. Let me Google it for you, right? So it gets really frustrating because when you have all these people who are relying on you in order to do anything, it's kind of, there comes a point where I felt like I was drowning in water, just so much burden on me. If I needed to do anything, I felt like I had to be the one to do it, right? So what I learned from my business coach is she taught me that your job, your role as a leader is to create that step-by-step, is to provide your team with the step-by-step, and wherever they get stuck, you have to patch that hole. You have to fix it, right? Then give it to them. And you just have to continuously do that process until you have the step-by-step, which you can hand over to your tacticians, who are going to be like 90% of your team, and they're able to just carry it out. And your job as the leader is to just keep updating that process, keep updating the step-by-step so that people can do it. The tacticians can follow those steps and get the result that you need. So when I heard that, I realized like, okay, that's what my job is. My job is to make a clear step-by-step that people can do. It's not good enough to have all the information in my own head, because if it's in my head, then guess who has to do it? I have to do it, right? And again, for a strategist like me, I don't like documenting step by step. I think it's very tedious. I think it's very boring. I like to, go out there and go do. But in order for my team to be successful, in order to create duplication, I have to write down all the processes, all the steps that are inside my head, provide the if this, then that situation, so that other people can go out there and just follow the process. Okay? Now, what you want to do is upgrade as many tacticians on your team into strategists. Okay? Strategists are going to be your leaders. They're going to be the ones who can start coming up with their own systems, start coming up with their own processes, learn how to do presentations, learn how to do other skills. Okay? But not everyone wants to be a strategist. Okay? Not everyone. There are going to be people on your team, because the next question to me came, okay, how about I just have like 5 strategists? I just have like 5 people on my team, and we all go out there and we just like dominate, right? But the issue is that most people in the world are tacticians. So you have to cater to that. You can't build a giant organization by ruling out the majority of the population. Okay, so I hope like this is kind of making sense. I hope this isn't too much a theory. But most people are only looking for like a couple, like $500 to $1,000 per month. If you're looking to make an extra $500 to $1,000 per month, like a tactician role is perfect for you. You just go out there and follow the step by step, and you'll accomplish it. Now, strategists are going to be the ones who want to do like a lot more, right? They're looking to do like 10,000, 20,000, 50, 100,000 per month. That's going to require you to step up, right? That's going to require you to start problem solving, start tackling, be the one that's creating those systems and those processes for people to follow. So what was my point? Oh yeah, my point was like, can't I just have like 5 strategists then and we just work together, and that would really make my life so much easier. And so that's what I tried to do last year. That's actually what I tried to do, is just attract other people who wanted to advertise, who wanted to invest into their business, who wanted to be problem solvers. And I figured if I just had like 7 of those people on my team, we would dominate. But the issue that we ran into is that most people are tacticians. So even if I taught my team the strategies that I'm doing myself, the people that they recruit, that they enroll, their business partners, their downline, a majority of them are tacticians. So it's really difficult to duplicate if the only strategy that you have in your business are fit for strategists. That's why you need a bunch of people doing a few things all simultaneously in order to grow a successful organization and a business. And then from there, you can see which one of those people are interested in becoming more of a strategic partner, more of a leader, more of someone who wants to do more. Okay, but you have to understand that most people who come into this business are just looking to do the step by step. They want the hand holding. They want the extra 500 to 1,000 per month. They want just their products to be paid for, right? That's what they come in thinking. And then as they see more, as they believe more, as they see what the products do, as they see what the company culture is like, as they see how regular people are achieving extraordinary results, that's when they start to get the thought of like, hey, maybe, if her, why not me? If he can do it, why can't I do it, right? So the point of all of this, the biggest lesson that I learned, is that just the phrasing, just the words strategist and tacticians, just being able to identify those types of people really helped me understand like what my role is. Because for me, I felt like, look, this is how I get leads. I use advertising. And then when there's a couple of people on my team who refuse to use advertising. And so, it was difficult for me to understand, because why not do what the successful people are doing, right? And I realized, what? There are people in different places in their lives. There are people who would be happier doing other systems, right? So now I integrated more of like attraction marketing into my systems of posting on social media and how to get people to reach out to you on social media. Just like different things, so that everyone can be successful, everyone can follow the steps, and then as you start to identify the ones who want to be leaders, who actually want to do more and achieve more and be more, those are the ones that you can start teaching other skill development, right? So yeah, that's what I've learned. So if you're struggling right now with feeling like everyone's so dependent on you, because again, my issue was that I learned how to do presentations, I learned how to do sales, and so my idea or the theory that I had was like, why don't I teach everyone how to do presentations? Why don't I teach everyone how to do sales? And everyone was unhappy. They were unhappy and I was unhappy because they didn't want to do the thing, and I was telling them to do the thing and developing these things, and I was unhappy because I was teaching it and they weren't applying it, or they weren't doing it, or they weren't grasping it. So now this is like a nice medium of like, let me create the steps that you follow. If you get stuck at any point, my job is to fix that step so that you can go through it all without any issues. That's my role, and that's what I'll actively work on. And then for the people who I identify as strategists, or people who want to do more, pick those people out and teach them the other skills that they need to develop, like presenting, sales, follow up, all that stuff. Yeah. So I hope that helps someone out there. It's something that I'm still like figuring out. Basically what I've done is, if you take all the training and all the material that your company provides you with, like the resources in your back office, what I've done is I just went on Kajabi. It's like a course platform. I just went on Kajabi and I just put all those resources step by step, so then when I enroll a new person, they get access into that back office and they can just go step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Because right now what happens is, and most companies are like this, if you enroll someone and they go into their back office, it's just a bunch of information. No one knows where to start. There's just a ton of team calls to attend. Just like, it's just a hot mess, and you have to kind of just figure it out, or they have to constantly talk to you, right? And so for me, I try to just streamline and automate everything so that people have a clear step-by-step process that they can follow. It's easier for them, it's easier for me. That's how it duplicates. So still in the process of figuring out. As soon as I have it dialed down, I'll come back and share what I've created with you, and hopefully it'll help you as well. All right, so that's it for today. I'll see you guys next week.